Let me see. All right, I'm live. It's already started. Well, this is the Arrested Field Bug Report number 26. And doggone it, I feel like I have to start all over. Start all over from the beginning. Like I said in the last one, sometimes you got to go through the process again and again and again because you're going to miss things. Not everything sinks in the first time around. That's just the way it is. That's why you listen again and again to make sure you really understand so that it sinks in. All right? That's just the way it is. I know nobody has time, but I'm putting it out there anyway, okay? Putting it out there on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. Yeah, it's on quick, too. So anyway. So hopefully future generations will watch my videos and hopefully they'll learn something about justice and truth and justice, all right? And, this is definitely, if truth and justice don't matter to you, then don't listen, okay? Don't bother. Don't waste your time. But if truth and justice do matter to you, if what God says in Scripture about love thy neighbor as thyself and love God first, that means love truth because His word is truth, all right? Love thy neighbor as thyself, that means justice, all right? Come on. This is what I've learned in my lifetime. And, hopefully future generations will sit up and pay attention. I'm making these recordings, putting them out available to mainly for my children, future generations, but but for everybody. So anyway, I find that your preachers don't. They do not give you a good understanding of what God says in Scripture at all. Today, the scriptural definition of marriage is not anything like what you think it is. If you got a marriage license, it's totally, you probably don't have a scriptural marriage, okay? You're supposed to get permission, not from the state, okay? When you get a license from the state, that's permission granted to you by the state. Actually, in God's system, you get permission. You actually make a contract with the girl's father, okay? If you actually get involved with a girl and marry her with a license from the state, that's not a legitimate marriage from the scriptural perspective as far as I'm concerned. So anyway, but studying the Bible, that's all I gotta say. Anyway, about justice, I'm very frustrated with these lawyers because I got a case, very clear, look it up, Title 19.2 Virginia Code, number 59, statute number 59, clearly says no search without a warrant. That's exactly what happened to me. And from what I can tell, the police think that they can take over the whole process without getting the courts involved at all. And that's the problem. They basically charge you, okay, in their minds, okay, they don't actually, maybe they make a police report, I don't know, but they take over the role of the court. All right? And they assume that you have evidence. They assume the jurisdiction, all right, without the court. They assume that you've committed a crime, and therefore they have the right to go they have the duty to go looking for evidence of that crime, and they assume that you've got evidence. That's what they did to me. I had a cell phone on my hand. They just jumped to the conclusion that there's a crime there and that there's evidence of the crime on my cell phone. I don't know how they jumped to these conclusions, but the magistrate is supposed to, it's the magistrate that's supposed to be making these decisions as to whether or not there's jurisdiction to hold somebody for a crime and put them on trial for that. Okay? But they don't even bother with the magistrate at all. And then, they handcuff you, and then basically they put you on trial right there. Start questioning you. We think you're hiding something. We think you're hiding something. What are you hiding? They were on me about that. They're basically taking over the role of the court. The court's supposed to put you on trial, not them. And then they decide, oh, well, we didn't find any crime, so we'll let you go. And then, if they do think they've found a crime, it's the magistrate's decision. It's the court that's supposed to decide this. Yes, the cops are supposed to go looking, but they don't actually but they're supposed to present their reasons to the magistrate, and the magistrate decides if the person is to be arrested or if there is to be a search warrant. Okay? That's the magistrate's decision, not the cops. Okay? The cops can go looking. They can watch you. I don't like that either, but they do it. I can't really complain about it. But they start jumping to conclusions, and they start making the decision, oh, we've got a crime here. Now we can go look for evidence, okay, of that crime. No, the magistrate decides if there's a crime, not the police, all right? And the magistrate decides if you can do a search, okay? Either way, whether you're arresting somebody because you witnessed a crime or because you think that there's a crime and that this person has evidence of it, either way, it's the magistrate's decision, not the police's. They may suspect something, but it's the magistrate's decision. It's his position to decide to do whether or not the police can do something about it. Whether or not the police can search or arrest. Either way. But the police just bypass that. And then they put you on trial themselves, asking you all sorts of nosy questions. What are you hiding? What are you hiding? What are you hiding? It's infuriating. I demand the right to have the magistrate make these decisions instead of the cops. It's not the cops' decision to make. Okay, they don't have the right or the duty to put you on trial, and yet they do it. They don't have the right or duty to decide that a search is warranted or that an arrest is warranted. Okay, that's the duty of the court. Yes, the police can go looking, and then they present what they found to the magistrate, and the magistrate makes these decisions. Not you guys. I'm tired of it. That's the proper way to do things. All right? And I'm saying this for Randy, too, by the way, because I want him to listen to this and see if he agrees with what I'm saying here, because this is the issue that I'm ultimately after. All right. And it's taken me a while just to explain the issue. I mean, it's already taken 10 minutes here. All right. And I think if you agree with me, you might want to listen to the previous Arrest the Field Bug reports. That's going to take some time. But, I think I've explained the issue here after, and I think I've been more specific about what the problem is. Randy, you've complained about the ex parte communications and the lack of an examining trial and the lack of jurisdiction and so forth. I think what's going on here is that the police, and not just the police, but the people have allowed the police to do this, okay? And it's because they don't realize that the police have basically taken over the role of the magistrate in the court itself. And the court has allowed them to do it. Okay? And this is what I think part of what the whole Virginia Declaration of Rights was about. Okay? We're supposed to have a Republican form of government. That is, the court has certain duties, and the police, the executive branch, has certain duties, and one branch cannot take over the duties of the other. All right? If one branch takes over the duties of the other, we no longer have a Republican form of government. The feds are supposed to guarantee that, and they don't. And they don't do it because the people aren't complaining about it, because they don't realize what's going on. See, all this happens behind the scenes. Okay, see, I don't know. Okay, I don't know if when the cop takes the ticket to the court, I don't know if he gives it to a magistrate or if he gives it to a common clerk. Okay, I don't know. All I know is that thing gets filed, and right away, the accused is named defendant. Okay, that means somehow somebody decided that you're the defendant. Now, if the court did it or if the cop did it, I don't know, but somebody is supposed to make that decision, and I'm thinking it's not the magistrate. There is no magistrate involved here. It's probably just a common clerk that just typed things into the computer system, took your name off the ticket, and put it into the computer system on the screen where it says defendant. Probably on the screen someplace. But we don't get to see that. You understand? We don't get to see them doing that. I want to know if that's what's going on. I want to know exactly the process that goes on when a ticket is filed with a court. Okay, because I think that's the moment when we can be sure, we can tell at that time if a certain part of the process has been bypassed. Okay, I think the magistrate, not only have they not given you an examining trial where you can speak to the magistrate at the same time that the officer does, but I don't think that I think they bypassed the magistrate altogether. But the thing is, the people are just allowing this to happen. Okay? They're not asserting their rights. You have a right to speak to a magistrate before they assume jurisdiction. You have a right to have the magistrate decide if the search is warranted or not. The police don't have any right or duty to go search without a warrant. You have to assert these rights. So this is about asserting your rights to have your public servants do their jobs properly. That's the bottom line. Okay, and I don't have any time